Hello and welcome to this tutorial of the Jones Bartlett LTI-based course cartridge option. I'll take a few moments now to explain what our LTI cartridge is before reviewing the steps you must take as an adopting institution to implement and use the course content within your local learning management system. Our LTI cartridge is essentially an application file that contains links to JB Learning course content or assets, which are hosted on our secured servers. These links have been converted for LTI compliance, which allows for you and your students to securely connect to and access the course content from within your own LMS. The LTI cartridge is a solution that enables full access to our comprehensive online course content via your own learning management system. The LMS brands or platforms for which our cartridge is currently available include Canvas, Blackboard, D2L or Brightspace, and Moodle. Alternatively, we can provide you with free access to our Navigate platform, which is a fully supported learning management solution supported by our team of solutions experts and is configured to host and deliver our rich course content. The Navigate platform is the better option if you do not have access to your own learning management system, if you don't have expertise needed to operate online classes using your own LMS, and or if you don't have the local resources on hand to guide and assist you in successfully using your own e-learning applications at your campus. While we can certainly assist you in uploading and connecting with our course content resources through the LTI cartridge that we provide, we are unable to give you functional support and instruction in using your own local LMS, as those platforms are considered to be third-party applications. In the example we're going to look at today, I'm going to walk you through the process of how we deliver our LTI cartridge to you and how it is set up within your local platform. Please note it's always very important to have a discussion with your LMS administrator or local IT expert about using our LTI cartridge within your local environment or LMS platform. Your institution may have requirements or approvals that must be cleared before using this course option in your platform to teach your classes. This is also just simply helpful for general awareness, creating general awareness with your technology staff, as their support and permissions may actually be necessary depending on how your local LMS application is being managed to get the cartridge imported and implemented and enabled to work. So for this example, we'll start with using Canvas. Now first, once you've had discussions with both your sales representative and LMS administrator and determined that the LTI cartridge is in fact the best solution for your online classroom needs, both you and your LMS admin will receive an email containing that course content and instructions on how to set it up. What we're looking at right now is an example of that email. It will have a little introduction at the top of the page, or the top of the message rather, and then it will have a link as well here to a landing page that contains instructional documentation on how you can download the content and set it up in your local platform. Within this table here will be the actual download file for the course content or that cartridge that you're going to want to import into your local LMS. You can download that content by clicking that link within that table. You can open a window in your browser and download the course content or cartridge file to your downloads folder. Showing that there. Also contained within the email, you will find the LTI URL and unique key and secret that we set up for your institution to enable secure access for yourself and your students to our content. You'll also find some high-level direction steps below that information. But again, I want to point you back to this URL at the top of the email, which will have detailed instruction sets for any particular step in the process or course configuration needs. Finally, at the bottom of this email, you'll also find contact information for our technical support team if you require further assistance in setting up the content within your LMS. So taking a look at how the course is set up in Canvas, I'm going to go ahead and click Start a New Course. Give that course an appropriate name that you find is appropriate. Right now, today, we're using the EMT 12th edition Premier package as an example. So I'm just going to say it's called EMT 12 for now, and then qualify it with a little demo qualifier here. I'm going to create that course. Once that course is created, there's a couple different ways you can upload course content. I'm going to choose to click the Import Existing Content link on the right-hand side of my tool menu. All of our cartridges are delivered in a common cartridge format. So from the content type, you just want to select that it is a common cartridge. You'll then want to choose the file that you downloaded to your local machine. In my case, it went right to my downloads folder, or I can select that file for import. I then want to choose that it is going to be all the content that's found within that file and click import. This may take a few moments. Once your cartridge has completed importing, you should see a report saying that it is completed under the job status. And then you'll find that it does report one issue with that import. And that is to say that the security parameters for the external tool, lti.jblearning.com, need to be set in course settings. All this error message means is that it recognized that there was LTI compliant content that was imported with that file, and that it is automatically set up a tool at your course level to allow you to connect or authenticate with that content that you've uploaded. To do so, I'm going to go to my settings page using the menu on the left-hand side here in Canvas. I'm going to come under the Apps tab at the top of the page, and then I'm going to click View App Configurations. Now you'll see here I have a few external applications that are enabled for my platform. And the first one here is lti.jblearning.com. Now that's the one that was automatically created when I imported this content. You'll see that it's automatically set up, however, it hasn't yet been configured. So all I need to do now is click on this drop-down gear to the right-hand side here, and then click Edit. At this point, I'll need to return to the email that was sent to me that included the download link for the cartridge, because that email, as you can recall, contained my consumer key and secret, as well as the launch URL that I need to use to configure the external application here in Canvas. So I have that off screen on my second screen here, and I'm just going to grab that information by highlighting it and then copying and pasting it within the relevant fields here. So the first thing I'm going to do is get the LTI URL or launch URL, and make sure you don't use any extra spaces or characters within the information that you copy over here. Doing so will create an error, so it has to be exact. Next, I'm going to grab the key that was given to me in that email by copying and pasting it in the consumer key field, and do the same with the shared secret. And paste that in the respective field. Now for the naming of the application, you may feel free to give it a custom name of your choosing. This is just the default name that the tool is created under once the content is imported. The privacy setting manages user information, which is populated to a registration form when content is accessed for the first time by any individual in the course. Registration requires a name and email address along with a password setup of each user's choosing. We securely store this information so that in the unlikely event of a technical error, we are able to effectively support the individual user and resolve the issue for them. We recommend using the public setting here to make it easier for your students when registering and to help keep their information consistent with that information that's also within your LMS. Once you've used that information that was in the email that was sent to set up or configure your external application for the LTI tool connectivity, you may click Submit in this window. And you'll find that the app was successfully updated. And at this point, you can return to your home page to review the course contents. Once you've imported and enabled the content within your LMS using the credentials that are provided in that email and set up the LTI tool, external tool or external application on your LMS, you're now ready to access the course content. Now, due to a limitation in the LTI Cartridge technology, we weren't able to include the test bank as a ready-made resource within the course. So you're going to be required to complete a second step of importing that test bank into the course. Most courses will have the test bank included as a downloadable file with topic 0 or first section of the contents page here. It'll be labeled as test bank. And when I click it, I'll be asked to register or redeem my access for the first time. Now, this is the same registration page that is shown to students when they sign up to access the course content, as it is for instructors. If you have an existing JBL account or JB Learning account, you may feel free to use those credentials here and then log in. If you have previously redeemed a code that would allow you to have access to this course content, it would be recognized at that time. Because this is the first time I am accessing this course content as an instructor or a demo instructor here, I'm going to go ahead and create a new account. To complete the registration of my account, I'm going to be served with this form where I need to enter my first name, last name, an email address of my choosing, as well as a password of my choosing. And then I confirm that password in the field at the bottom of this form. It will ask me to accept the terms and conditions, accept the privacy policy, and I can click continue, at which point it will ask me to redeem an access code. An access code is a 10-digit code that's found on the inside cover of the student's book or on the access card within that book enclosed, or purchased digitally online. Now, this is a single sign-on process, so once you and your students complete this a first time, they'll enjoy unencumbered access going forward to the course content. Now, you'll see this page will look like it's still spinning to load something. However, it's already in fact done its job by downloading the course test bank as a raw file to my computer. So I can click Show in Folder, and I know it's downloaded this test bank to my Downloads folder. And you'll see that it's downloaded as a zipped file. So I'm going to double click and open this zipped file, where I'm going to have a folder, the name of my course, and then it's going to give me a list of all the different LMS test bank formats that are available for this test bank. And because we're using Canvas, I know that it's a QTI format. That's what I need from this test bank. And instead of extracting all this content, I'm going to keep it simple just by clicking and holding and dragging and dropping this file back into my Downloads folder, which virtually extracts it. I've already done this before, so I'm just going to overwrite that same file. Once I've done that, I can come back into my course and go to Settings, because right now I've downloaded the test bank and I just need to import it. So again, import course content, the right-hand menu here. For content type, I'm going to go all the way to the bottom of this list and select qti.zip. Choose the file that was downloaded to my Downloads file, or folder rather, and where I extracted it. Top of the list is my most recent one. I don't need to select any other parameters here. I don't need to overwrite any assessment content because it was a brand new course without any existing assessments in it. So I can go ahead and click Import here, which will take a few moments. All right, once that test bank has completed loading, I can then go to my quizzes section in the left-hand menu in Canvas. You'll then find that quizzes have been automatically created as part of that import action. So you'll find that the way the test bank is structured is all questions allocated by chapter. So you'll see that, for an example here, chapter 1 has 32 questions total available. Chapter 2 has 73 questions, so on and so forth. So automatically, quizzes were created based on how these questions are organized in the test bank. You may choose to use these questions to serve up to students in the class. You may change those quizzes as you need or apply different restrictions and configurations as needed, or simply delete them or just not use them and let them sit there. Entirely up to you. But you'll find now when you go to create a quiz, and we'll just name this Test 1 as an example. You can go to the Questions tab, click Find Questions, and you'll find that all the questions from the test bank have been uploaded to the course and are available for selection for any quizzes or tests you may be building. Now briefly shifting focus to the course content. If you are familiar with Navigate, most course content that you find in the LTI cartridge within your own LMS will function very similarly to Navigate. For example, if I move down to some chapter-based content here, and I click on the learning objectives for chapter 1, when a student or yourself interacts with this content, like Navigate, it will perform a download of that resource in the event that that resource is a downloadable file. For instance, in this case, it's a PDF. If it was a Word document, that would also appear as a downloadable file once I clicked on it. Something else you may have already noticed in this brief demonstration is that every course content link will serve up this interstitial page within your LMS as a first step before arriving at that content. So each student and instructor using the material in the course will need to click on this Open in a New Tab button after they've launched it from the course homepage where all the content lives, or from the modules, depending on how you've organized the courseware. Regarding course setup and configuration, there are a couple things to be aware of. First, all modules will be published or accessible to your enrolled students by default. In addition, certain items within the modules may also be published. So ensure that you review the course content as it was imported and publish or unpublish the content so that it is prepared for your incoming class of students as desired. Next, you'll notice that specific course activities are intended to be graded items by default. In Canvas, these are automatically published and are set to report grades to reflect student attempts. If you're using Blackboard or a different LMS, these activities may need to be enabled in their settings to behave as graded items within the course. For more information, please visit the page that was linked in the email that you received with all the cartridge instruction sets, and you'll find specific instructions for your LMS for configuring any applicable course items.